Hi folks, happy to have you here on the AX Semantics Meetup channel. Here you will find every 14 days our latest video from our Meetup where we're discussing with experts and customers about the opportunities of content automation. If you have any questions, just write it in the comments. We will answer them as soon as possible. And don't forget to subscribe our channel. Then we will see you next time here on this channel.
Welcome, everybody. Hello and welcome from Stuttgart. Christiane is here from Leipzig. Welcome, Christiane. And we have our permanent guest, Stephan. He was here a couple of times. He works at Meetup. Today, we will talk about image generation. This meetup has 3 parts, or maybe 4 parts. The first part is the brief introduction. I will show you what is possible with AX Semantics, what you can do in terms of image creation. Then Stephan will talk a little bit about automated video creation with AX. He will also give you some examples, and then we will have a look at some of the famous AI tools. Christiane dealt with it within the last couple of weeks. So much for our agenda. So let's get started then. Image and text automation and generation. I have an example for you. It is a betting provider, a customer of ours, that adapts their betting offers to the quota, and they need up-to-date image products. And you see these pictures here, and we wanted to give you this example, and we wanted to show you how this actually works. They generate text, but also images. It's not an AI product, but they use existing elements and then they recombine them to add information in form of text. And then this image is presented in an HTML format. You have this working platform here. You can gather data here, collect data, type in different types of sport here. You see this here, and this is a very complex project that you can see here. And what happens as a result? On the right-hand side, you have the text here generated, and then you see this red marking here. And this is how the images are created and presented. And that's how this image is created and added to this post. And that's the logic behind it. What can you do with it? And can you use it also for other industries and not only for sports news? Yes, here is another example. You can use it, or Amazon uses it, for instance. If you want to offer your product on Amazon, you can have your image here, and in the orange text field, you can add your text and write down the features of your product. And that's a very simple layout here. You generate a script file with Adobe Illustrator, for instance. Then you have a placeholder and you enter your product picture. And then in the layout, you write your text, and the layout is then implemented. And via this script, you render an image and it is then transferred into a file and saved. This is a very simple layout. It is easy to fathom here, but it can be also more complex. Here is another example. You have different product levels here, the jackets, for instance, that have to be photographed always in the same way. And then they also add these different aspects into the various languages, the different product features, to have a zipper, for instance, with the brand logo, or a Velcro strap, or other features, and so on. Same applies to Bosch here. They have 3 images here combined You have this flower here, the washing machine, so the image of the product, and then in the blue box here, you have different features that you can enter. It is possible to enter information in various languages on this marketplace and for your website. And here it is even more complex. It's an example of decathlon. You have a description for tents for 4-person, and you need the width and the height of the tent. Then you render it into the placeholder, render the image, and then you get this result, and then you can save it so that the systems can access this project. And here's an example of Bosch, and then you need to have all the features within this image. The mixing machine here is displayed on the image. The machine does not describe the different mixing speeds, but you have to enter all this information and then render this image, write down the text, and yes, that's that. And you can have it in various languages. So much for the current state of art. Many customers use this procedure already, but Stephan Bayer has gone further. Stephan of Metav, you have gone further. You are automating videos or moved images. Please feel free to share your screen and explain us what exactly you do and who was responsible for your project. We would have loved to have our guest here, but he's a minor, so he's not here right now. But please feel free to present your project to us. Okay, yeah, it's working. It's a very simple video. We did this yesterday. We have lots of photos here and images, and we generated this image and this video by entering data. It all started with the idea of having images in a Google search and how can you be more visible? How can you have automated images and moving images? How you can just use photos and combine them and show them as part of a video. You can generate this and just decide on what you want to show and how you want to show it, and that's it. So what's the procedure? Okay, now let me share my screen first. Okay, first of all, you need to have the platform. This is a platform as an initial stage. You have to have your pictures first and create a file out of it. This file then is then the platform, so to say. You need to have it as a control file to then have data from your PIM system. You generate a control data or a control file to render your video then. Okay, first of all, you need to build your platform. That's very simple. You can control it like this. You can have like 3-minute videos or shorter or longer videos. That's the data, the images and the pictures. And then later on, you need the control file. So this is the product, a very technical product. You might want to show the caliper that is currently used or that is in use. Then you need the technical information on the caliper. And then you need to show how to use it with the software. The second step was the idea of my son. He was 14 years of age or maybe a little bit older. He is probably currently watching this meetup. And yeah, you need a script, a control file that looks as follows. like this. You will now see a black screen with a script. Yes, yes, we do see the JSON file and the product image. Yeah, that's it. You need to have this data for such a video, and you get this data from a PIM system. On the top, you see the manufacturer, then the description, USB microscope, then the product image, then the different functions that are then shown after one another step by step. And then on the bottom, there are the different bullet points with the product feature. And this is how you create a video. If you then link it to the control JSON file, you will then be able to generate multiple videos. You could generate thousands of videos, and it just takes, you can just generate about 20 videos in just a very short time. For instance, you want to have videos for your Christmas business, and you can just add a picture of a Christmas tree. You can also have a photo of a Easter bunny for Eastern, for instance. You can save the video wherever you want on your computer, and you can then upload it to YouTube if you wish so. You can then also get the text for the video from AX, for instance. That's what we did. It works fine, but yes, but it is not so easy to have the text right at the same moment where you see the pictures. You just say you have a 20-second video, it is not so easy to have the text at the same, in the very right moment when the corresponding picture is shown. Yes, but yeah, you use this procedure on your website. Yes, yes, we do. And I think there are just very few companies of your kind who use this automated video creation. Yes, exactly. Yes, you have competitive edge here. Exactly. Yes, you're currently boosting your business, and also you promote the internationalization of your company. Yes, so it's a very exciting step that we're currently taking. Do I have another second here? Yes, I'd like to show you the video of Pier 14. Yes, yes, I wish to show you this video because it's a really nice video. Just to give you a palpable example, we could also create thousands of videos, but this is a very nice example.
Also so sieht es dann schön aus, ne? Wenn man da ein bisschen mehr
Yes, this looks really nice. If you really put some effort into it, you really get some outstanding results. And this is how you can use automation with and have a synergy of the AX system and the PIM system, and you can create multiple videos within just a short amount of time. Yes, thank you so much, Stephan. Now I'd like to give the floor to Christiane. So this is another topic. You might know the term prompt artist. You have a text interface, and a machine then interprets the text that you entered. So it is about how you describe a text to get good image results. And we will show you some positive results and some errors and flaws that might occur when you enter the wrong or the incorrect text descriptions. So it is really complex here. So Christiane, feel free to explain us how this all works and explain us the underlying ideas of this procedure. Yeah, we can also generate some images later on. Yes. Okay. Dall-E. I mean, this is something that has been on everyone's lips for some time now. And for a couple of weeks ago now, this process is now accessible for everyone. Dall-E is an image generation AI that is developed by OpenAI. They also have the GPT-3 text AI. And in context with AX, we wanted to see how we can generate the prompt and how you can combine AX with Dall-E. So how can you benefit here from this combination of both softwares? And yes, I've been working with this for some weeks now. So first of all, you need data. This is a data snippet for you. It is data about the weather. You have some weather attributes here that you need for the prompt generation. And at the end of the day, you'd like to have an image that was based on this data. The middleware here is AX, or we wish that to use AX for the text generation and then Dall-E for the image generation. OpenAI and Dall-E, it is a computer program that is based on machine learning. They can generate images based on text descriptions. We have 250 million images, and this is how many images were used to train the machine. They use these machine time and again to generate new content based on these 2,500 million images. So the images are always unique. All right, to give you an example on how we combine it with AX, we have this weather data here and the weather attributes in cities. And on this slide, you see a very simple prompt, Saarbrücken, clear weather. And yes, just imagine you have the text snippet from AX and use the AI then for the image generation. That's really terrific. Then there's also a free API here, and you can try to combine the two softwares. Yeah, so we could generate a couple of hundreds of images on weather per day. Yes, good news. If you want to try and test this, you can experiment here a little. You have 4 examples here, and then you can choose from these 4 examples the one that you like to have. Here you have the clear weather in Saarbrücken, and then this is the example here. And that's a very convincing result. The same here for cloudy weather in Potsdam. Those are real objects that can be generated with AX with the specific weather attributes and features. Very beautiful. Okay, so you generated the text with AX, yes. Exactly, yes, you can see it on the text field that is displayed here above the images. Yes, the text is generated with AX. And then you have the images here. The clouds above Potsdam. This is not an image that, or a picture, a photo that was taken. And it's not a photo that is available on Google, for instance. No, the machine interprets it. It understands clouds and Potsdam, and then it combines the different attributes, and the AI searches for symbolic buildings for Potsdam and combines it with clouds. And maybe the clouds were photographed by Lieselotte Müller in Florida when there was a tropical storm, for instance, and another building was photographed by person X. And the machine then generates a new perspective by combining these two photographs. These, of course, it's not perfectly fitting because the angle maybe is not fitting to the clouds, but the machine combines the photos. So it's not a search engine that just searches for photos. No, it calculates and uses the AI to generate a new image. And that is really remarkable. It's a huge breakthrough. I think you all know that this is something completely new, and you can, for instance, create weather images with this machine. I think it is really astounding. Yes. So the background is that we have a data set that is necessary for text generation, and we don't need to do that much for it. To generate prompts for Dall-E, you have to have very precise information. The better the information, the better the pictures. And as regards the styles, you can have comics or digital art or photorealistic images. No matter what, the machine can do really great things here. And with the combination of AX, we get really some fantastic results here. I tried and tested it with various things here. Maybe you can see my screen here. So I had the phrases here, and here you see that we have the season and the date, and we added some other branches and phrases that can be triggered. The weather condition, for instance. So what should be seen on the screen? I split it up here. Maybe it is better for you to see. You can change, replace the attribute rain by fog, clear, clouds, thunderstorms, or drizzle rain. And the city can also be replaced by other cities, and the seasons as well, Christmas season, Easter season, and Pentecost, for instance. You can add these branches yourself here and trigger this data. And yeah, that's what I did. And I also did the same for the weather conditions. What could be seen on the picture when it is cloudy or when it's rainy? What else should be seen on these images? And you can randomize this also. And you can also decide on what is to be seen in the background. I wanted to have a skyline of the cities or a symbolic building, for instance, of a city, and the AI knows these sites in a city very well. I can show you an example later on. On this screen, on this slide, you see a complex image generation. You see foggy weather in Bremen in autumn, and you see that we added the information that cars are driving through the city and have this fog lights on. And in the background, there's a symbol of Bremen. I think it is the Bremen, a gate in Bremen, yes. Is there anyone here from Bremen? Maybe you can confirm us that this is the fitting symbol. Okay, Christiane. As a chief editor, I'd really like to buy these pictures from you because they are absolutely great. Just imagine you have to write text for multiple cities, So maybe we don't need to write all these texts and write or create all these images, but use this software. This is really beneficial and really facilitates your work here. I'd like to show you some further examples. Maybe you can see here the clouds. And you can see that people are wearing warm clothes here in the streets. So the people here in the streets don't exist. We really added them to the photo. They are created by the AI machine. And here's another example, clear weather in Mainz. We see that it is sunny there.
In klares Wetter in Fürth.
And we also see here another example, clear weather in Fürth. Yes, we see that people are eating an ice cream here. It is something that really was implemented in the generation. Yes, of course, not everything is implemented always, but most of the time, all information that is added, all the prompts are implemented. The more detailed the information is, the better it is implemented, generally speaking. Here's an example of the city of Flensburg in autumn. You see the puddles on the streets and the reflection of the buildings in the puddles. So there's lots of information here, and you see how it really works. It is remarkable, and you can have different styles here, add commentas and also comics, or you can enter information on the style, whether you want to have a photograph, a photorealistic image or a comic or whatsoever. All right, another example here of a small city. It is the city of Bottrop. People with an umbrella in the city of Bottrop. And what also works well is to have this skyline in the background. Of course, the skyline is not there in every city, but it looks really nice. Another example here is Leipzig. You see the monument to the Battle of the Nations in Leipzig. And I'm fairly sure that you can integrate it with your data. You can add specific images to the cities. You don't have to write the text beforehand. You can add it in the script beforehand, of course. And then last but not least, I have another example on the icons, on the weather icons. You see the weather icon in the front, and in the back you see the skyline of New York City. That works as well. But you can also have some generated images that are not the way you desired it to be. The AI has its own language, so to say. Sometimes it enters text into the image, words that sound specific, but they don't make sense then. If you enter the words into the search engine, you have, for instance, the example of vegetables. I don't know if that's clear, but you really have to make sure that you don't have real words in your image. So you have to be very precise with the information to not interfere with the result. But are there any questions from our participants? Other questions to Christiane or to Stephan? Feel free to fire away or drop us a line in the chat. So I was really impressed. I was impressed about the evening when we tried and tested some things, and we had some outstanding results. We had some phrases such as snow in a city, and then we had a remarkable result. And the same is what you just showed us with the skyline. What are the sources for exact sites? Are there some lists with the biggest cities, 500 biggest cities in Germany, and or no, just 500 cities and one site in a city? Do you have a list here? Do you have a source for us? Yes, I cannot tell you that secret. I'm a data engineer and I have my secrets here. No, no, just a joke. You can find the source and there's free data online, of course. That's not really a problem. You can find the sources of the monuments and sites online. You have different maps, for instance, and there you can see all the major monuments. I see that this is your source. Yes. Okay. Are there legal challenges as regards copyright? Do you have some insights for us on this matter? This morning, we heard that Microsoft generated code with OpenAI, and the open source code was analyzed. And with a prompt, for instance, you enter text, and then the machine analyzes it, and you generate a code then. And yes, so developers then complained that the code was analyzed and that the code is the property of the developers, so to say. What about images? Who is the owner, so to say, of an image? I am not entirely sure. I've been observing discussions on this matter for some time now because, of course, so where's the human performance? Prompt, yes, prompt is an art. So there are prompt artists who create the commands for the Dall-E machine. And yes, so they insist on having the copyrights on the prompts as they designed the prompts, so to say, yes. It is really difficult to say here because there are many artists who file a lawsuit as you have these images also that look like images from artists that are currently also producing these pieces of art. So it looks very similar to their images. And then they file the lawsuit as they say that they have the copyright here. We had numerous pieces of art that looked similar to these styles of the artists. So this is a very heated discussion. This is a heated discussion, and I'm not sure whether these artists have agreed to using their style and their piece of art. Yes, so a woman found her image, her piece of art in these AI machines. Of course, it was a little bit different, but yes, so she said that she didn't agree. She hadn't agreed, and yeah, it is a controversial issue, of course, and it remains to be seen what these discussions will lead to. I don't have a clear answer to that question, but it is something that we will find out in the time to come. Martin, you have a question. And I think I cannot see the entire question in the chat. Could you please explain us your question, please? I have a question now for Christiane again. I think it is really insightful to see that there has been a discussion for some time now based on the database. So Dall-E uses images from the internet, and you said that there's a woman that, for instance, has found her image in this machine. Can you generate your own data, for instance, your data that can be used by this AI machine? No, not exactly, but that's what we want to do with AX. Yes, so we generate data that we use later on to train the machine. So we generate the data with a generating AI tool. We generate content that is then analyzed and that is then used for machine learning. So synthetic data is also a very insightful topic. So it is interesting to observe the current discussions on this matter. All right. There's the question on GPT-3. You can say that GPT-3 should generate a text on the sites in Hamburg. Yes, and then you'll have lots of results there. Yeah, that's a good point here. You can use the AI to generate text and to create the prompt. Yeah, that's very smart. Yes. You can use then the code AI with that and link it to that. And yeah, that's a really great idea. You can just say, create a JSON a list with all the information. Yes. Yeah, that's also possible. Great idea. Thank you very much for your input, Martin. Other further questions from the floor? Thank you, everyone. And thank you for joining us. See you soon. Bye-bye.